Okay, go live. So let's see. Okay, we're live now on YouTube. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Now the trick is, can you share your screen on the YouTube live?
See what we're seeing here on the screen.
Customization. I don't think it has that option. Show all controls. Okay. Well, we'll just do it like that. And then we'll just maybe upload the Zoom later, just in case anybody has any chats or questions during the live on YouTube. Okay. So let's see. Go back to Zoom. Bear with us, y'all, or bear with me.
What do you want to show first, Jeff?
What's that?
So what do you want to show first? What's the first thing you want to show?
So the thing I want to talk about is let's go ahead. Well, let's go ahead and do the audio. I guess we'll do the angry mad caller. Get that out the way.
Shout out to
that's been highly requested.
Brother Nasir, I want to say is his name. Shout out to him. All right. Like, I know it wasn't meant to be this way, but that was ironically
Nasir, I believe it was.
Yeah, ironically one of the greatest audios of all time. And let's share screen, share sounds. Okay.
And understand something. I did not threaten you. I don't have any reason to threaten you. You're nobody. You don't even show up on the Richter scale of somebody that we would waste time with or that I would waste time with.
Okay, wait. Because we want to break this down, you can't say that like we're not someone, or Jaffer isn't someone that you wouldn't spend time on and then spend time on him or go out of your way. Because like it's not like Jaffer like messaged you. We were just in a group chat, right? And then after you guys kicked Jaffer out the group chat, you then went out of your way to go find out where he was in the group chat, scroll up, click on his name, find his name, then message him several times, and then proceed to leave a voice note about like why he's not on the scale. Clearly, Jaffer is the most important person in your life.
Understand that. You spend your life slandering Ahlul Bayt.
Slander.
You understand what you're doing to yourself? You know what kind of place you're putting yourself in? All the fitna that you cause, all you slander Ahlul Bayt.
Okay. Just another thing too is that so he talks about all the fitna you caused, right? But then he just goes back to his first point and his only point about you slander Ahlul Bayt. He provides 0 examples through this. He just keeps saying you slander Ahlul Bayt. And you know all the fitna you're causing inside of the world. You slander Ahlul Bayt. It's like he has no other points to stand upon, and then he doesn't know himself whether Jelani and them are Ahlul Bayt.
See, the thing is, it's like it's the same repetitive thing that they all say when they just really have nothing to say.
Mm-hmm.
So for how many years we've been doing this, every person that makes that claim, we say, okay, how did we slander them? So for slander, that means that we're telling stuff about somebody in a public manner that is not true.
Mm-hmm. And
not one person has been able to point out any time that we have actually slandered anybody in TMOA. Challenge is still out there. And this whole thing about Ahlul Bayt, we got to touch on that a little bit, just because this is one of the things that holds up a lot of people in TMOA. First, it doesn't matter whether Mubarak Jelani or his family or whatever, if they're Ahlul Bayt or not. If they're transgressors, oppressors, people of innovation, people of shirk, it does not matter. It does not matter. Their bloodline, even if they were Ahlul Bayt, does not change anything. Does not give them a pass to go against the Quran and the Sunnah. Also, if you go to anybody that has any familiarity with Pakistan, India, and Muslims over there, they will tell you that people over there that claim to be Ahlul Bayt are a dime a dozen. Everybody claims to be a Sayyid. Everybody claims to be Ahlul Bayt. Whether it's true or not, Allah knows best. But most of them are not actually Ahlul Bayt. And I'm pretty sure that Mubarak Jilani and his family are actually not Ahlul Bayt. They'll come up with scrolls, they'll come up with papers and all these different things that supposedly proves that they're Ahlul Bayt, but it's actually not verified by anybody or anything. So, you know, Allah knows best whether he's Ahlul Bayt. That is, you do not follow somebody just because they're Ahlul Bayt. That is a Shiite belief. If you're a Shiite, go ahead. You know, and then if you're gonna, you know, just ignore all the wrong that they do because they're Ahlul Bayt, that's on you. But we don't have to. Being Ahlul Bayt does not cause us not to speak out against the wrongs that your fake sheikh has been doing for the last 40 years, and now that his family continues to do.
100%. And just to piggyback off Jafar and to steal from our good brother Misbahuddin, who said like the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu uncle didn't escape hellfire, even though, you know, that's literally, we know for sure that that's his uncle. All right, there's not like, okay, maybe he's not his uncle. We know for sure that that is the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu uncle, and he didn't escape from the hellfire. And he was like, just please, you know, take a shahada now, and to his dying breath, right? I'll intercede for you. Cool. He didn't do that. All right, but he's still in hellfire, right? That's something we know, right? And so Mubarak Jilani, even if he is Ahlul Bayt, right, all the sins and the transgressions, and all the things that he's done, the halalas, the forced breaking up of marriages, him quote unquote working with the jinns, having like all the stuff he's done. I don't care who you are. There is no lineage that stops you from being dealt in by shirk. Period. So yeah. All right. Back to this.
Even if you didn't want to be part of the Jama'ah, or you didn't like something that was done to you, live your life, man. Go live your life. Do whatever you want to do. Your life is worth it. You spend your life trying to tear down something that a beautiful, pious individual that lost.
Pause it right here. So it's the same old thing. It's like everybody that speaks out against TMA, all of a sudden they stopped having a life. Right? They stopped having. So y'all got to get y'all story straight. Either we're being funded by the Wahhabi, Zionist, FBI, whatever, right? And this is our job, is to tear down and destroy TMOA, which that would be our life. Or we actually have no life and we're bums on the streets that just happen to have computers, online, live Zoom accounts and all these different things. That this is how, you know, we get to, because we have no life. We have nothing better to do. You know, I would challenge everybody that says this to actually, listen, brother, you go get a life. What is your life? What are you doing? You know what I mean? That you actually called me to go on this rant about TMOA. Yes, we people have left the Jama'ah. And then the other thing he mentioned that he alluded to is that for some reason, the only way that you could possibly have a problem with TMOA if something happened to you.
Yeah.
Right. Or like, does something happen to you? Nothing happened to me. Nothing happened to the majority of people that are in TMOA. People left without anything happened to them, and then things happened to them after they left. You know. So just like, more bullcrap.
Yeah, because nothing happened to me either. Like I think Mubarak said this. I'm the son of the TMOA aristocrats. All right. Like so like nothing happened to be in the Jama'ah. I promise you. Like when folks are telling their stories about what happened in their accounts, I'm like, that's terrible. How many I have to go through any of that? Because it was pretty smooth selling in the cult. All right. If I join back the cult, I could probably kick up a lot out of there. All right. So these are facts.
You'll know the fruit by the tree, the tree by the fruit that it bears. This is a Jama'ah full of
pause it right here. Pause right here. We know, yes, this is a good point he brings up. You know the tree by its fruit. So let's talk about the fruit of TMOA, right? Let's talk about the tree first.
All right.
So we have a tree. We have a tree that very big tree. So you would say it wasn't a healthy tree. It was a very oversized tree, very poor
roots,
very dismal, and that it died and rotted at the end. And then the fruit it produced is other big, ugly disgusting trees and fruit.
They go
people that
after smaller, younger trees for some reason. Anyway.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just people carrying on the same old things. Like, what is the fruit that TMOA has produced? How many scholars has TMOA produced? Zero.
Well, he's about to tell you though.
Well, how many? We'll see. Okay, he's going to get into that, but we know for a fact there's 0 scholars. Allegedly, 1 Hafiz. We'll give you that, even though that's not even true. Y'all didn't produce them.
I ain't giving him that at all. I give him a doctor, but not really. because at the end of the day, right? So just because like I live a part of the community, right? If I leave that community to go learn things, how are you claiming that, right? I mean, I guess you can, but like for Dr. Jamil, right? I knew Dr. Jamil my whole life, right? And he didn't like go to doctorate school in Pakistan under Jelani or like under K2 to become a Quranic therapist or whatever the hell he is. Like he had to go to actual medical school, actually study his ass off. He didn't just like make believe it up. So I don't know like how, I guess you can claim it, but like that's not Jelani teaching that. And if there's only 1 in 40 years, that's a terrible average. That means that in 80 years we're gonna have 2.
Here's a good example, and it's said directly from one of the TMOA doctors themselves, Dr. Bowers, Umar Bowers. And he was, after you become a doctor, like, then they start putting you front stage or giving speeches at whatever, right? So he was giving a speech at a retreat, and he says in his speech, he says, in order to be successful, sometimes you have to leave TMOA and go do what you got to do. And then come back after you become successful. And he says that during his speech.
100% true.
And then Ahmed, he gets on the mic right after him and says, like, pretty much says, don't listen to what he just said.
No, but like that's 100% true. And listen, if you've been a part of the Jamaat for a long time, right? You see this all the time where they discourage you from doing X, Y, or Z, right? But if you ignore them and then proceed to go to X, Y, and Z, if that is successful, if you like have benefit from that, it will come back to you like, please, like be a part. Like we see it with Hadith J. Williams, right? When Hadith went out, because social media, it was banned for a long time, right? No one's supposed to be on the internet, right? Hadith goes, right? That's his own thing, right? Against the guides of the community. And he goes and does his own thing. He goes and finds his Islam, learns, right? And becomes, the popular Hadith J. Williams, the internet figure, right? Yeah. And then what happens? Hadith, come back, please. You're part of us. We can use you to help push our own platforms. And Hadith's like, no, like this is my thing. So they will quickly try to use you if you become popular, right? Like when Amina graduated from college, Dr. Atiya's daughter, so mashallah, you literally just kicked her out a year ago. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we're not doing this.
Here's another challenge for TMOA members. Give me one successful person that has followed the Jelani
methodology
playbook, right? The playbook, followed all the rules of TMOA and has been successful. Because all the people that have been successful, whether they're doctors, the lawyers, they have all disobeyed Mubarak Jelani and the TMOA rules to get where they're at, right? Because here's one school. One, you're not allowed to go to public school. That's one. 2, females are not allowed to go to college unless they go to college in class with their husbands. That's 2. And 3, no females are allowed to do anything in a medical profession. That's a rule they put out. It's haram for women to work in the medical field. This is what Mubarak Jelani is.
Yeah, making things haram that are haram. Yeah.
So name me one female or one male that got successful by going to homeschool, right? Getting married before he went to college, right? Living on the land.
No job.
Name me one person. You won't be able to find not one person.
Yeah, that's a terrible playbook. Like every play you guys run, it's a sack tackle for loss. Every play you're freaking tackle for loss. Every play talking about you just gotta do it. And then the people that freaking leave the playbook behind and get a different playbook. Well, the idea was there though. It was innovated inside of their head to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The tree by the fruit that it bears. This is a Jamaat full of qadis and doctors and lawyers and hafiz.
All right, no, none of that is true. None of that is true. None of that. There is like one of each tops, and the the two that you guys claim the most, Shafiq and Tahir, guess what they went. They didn't go to Pakistan, they went right to Georgia. All right. So you got like, sure, they've been maybe a part of it. But Shafiq and Tahir did not I promise you they didn't learn how to be Quran from Jelani. I can guarantee you that. Because if they did, I don't know, Chief.
Yeah, and to say, like, just like you said, just totally false. To say it's a Jamaat full of these people, we can count on our two hands all the people that you mentioned
that qualify as such.
Yeah, and so how's that full? That's not full. There's thousands of more members that are not that. You do have a Jamaat full of, according to your own Khalifa, a Jamaat full of fornicators. You do have a Jamaat full of criminals. You do have that.
Something he is proud of, though, because like that you know, that kind of fits his mode too, because he was a fornicator and a criminal. He goes projecting onto himself. He's like, I mean, you guys are terrible people. Like, I mean, I am too, low key. Like, just think about the stuff that they like him. You can't wear these clothes because he's in your house watching you. Like, all right, creepy old dude. What the hell is this? Get out of my house. Stop watching me, my wife, freak.
Can you imagine me calling you up when you're married and be like, Amr, you should tell your wife to dress because I see y'all when y'all ain't dressed.
I'm like Joffrey, you better not be looking at your daughter, nigga. All right, the hell is this? The hell you got going on? All right.
Like, whenever I heard that for even when I was on the juice and I heard those stories like of that okay, I'm like, why the hell is he looking at people naked? Why is he looking at people in their private quarters? Even if he did have that ability, why would he do that? That's like the invisible man, right? Like you're going around creeping on people, sneaking on people. Like, come on, man. What the hell?
And people that go to Azhar and to all the madrasas all over the world and become educated in Islam. But you actually think you can put that light out. You actually think you can put that light out. We feed people.
Wait.
Yeah,
okay.
You feel the person.
Okay, wait. So this is absolutely funny because yes, it is technically true that they do donate money overseas, which helps feed people, which is great, alhamdulillah, right? But if you're part of a Jamaat, right, and you've ever been to a Jamaat function, these niggas do not feed you, the people in the community. All right, you have to go elsewhere to get fed. Like this is the problem. It's like you're like, oh, you're trying to be outwardly like, okay, well, outwardly we are so giving, but inside in the community, you're treated like garbage. Like I've been to so many Eids during my lifetime where literally there is no food, and as a kid, I mean, you're just walking up and down the land anyway, but there's no food, and then you freaking after 9 hours of not eating, right, and being at the shrine, you leave the South Carolina land or the Red House land or the land in New York, and you go find food because everyone's hungry. That's literally what happens. You have to like know someone on the land to get food or pay for it.
And look, and like all these years that people's been sending money over there, and a lot of people like there's different ideas of what people had that the money went to. Some people believe it went to like feed orphans, and some people believe that the money goes to fund jihadis. Some people believe it went to whatever, right? We know the majority of the money went to fund Mubarak Jelani and his family. But we just seen, they posted it on their social media. They posted when they actually were giving out the little bags of rice, right? They had one big, like maybe like a 50-pound bag of rice, and then they're giving people Ziploc bags of rice, right? And I'm pretty sure the people in Team 1 was like, oh, alhamdulillah, look at all the good we're doing. And alhamdulillah, like there's R2F, which has a couple dozen people on it, and the people that are handling like the charity stuff that's doing different charity initiatives, like dozens and dozens of 50-pound bags of charity going to people in Pakistan, like that they're like enough to feed a family for a month.
Yeah.
So like, come on, like people like wake up to this, like they bought one bag of rice for literally probably like $3, divvied it out, right? They're out there in slides and stuff. They're like, they're totally out of their element, even in their own country. And these people, you see them taking the bags of rice, like, what is this?
No,
but yeah, you guys feed people. Sure you do.
You guys feeding folks, right? That's great. But that's the equivalent of like when Trump went freaking to Puerto Rico, it was shooting it was shooting free throws with paper towels. Like, yeah, like nah, chief. Like that's good, but y'all aren't really doing much over there. All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Allah.
It's really sad though. As we get more into this, it's really sad how diluted. Like it's like, okay, it's one thing to lie to somebody else, right? It's bad. It's bad to lie to somebody else, but it's even worse if you're lying to yourself. So if he's lying to himself and he actually believes all this stuff, it's really sad that, you know, people are still caught up into this whole dream world of TMOA.
Well, I mean, if you spent your entire life believing it, right? And this is an elder brother that we know now. You spent your entire life believing it. I mean, it's hard for you to just stop now, because you know, if you stop now, then you're wrong, and it's tough to admit you're wrong. I understand.
Yeah. Yep.
You actually think you put that light out? The people, we feed people, we distribute money, we take care of people all over the world, but to you, that's something to slander and to find fault with. You're sick, man. Sick. You got to be sick just to spend your entire life trying to find something wrong with somebody else, instead of just going. Well, if you don't want to do it, just mind.
We didn't spend much time finding. It's all right there in the open. There's a lot of wrong with TMOA. You guys believe in shirk. Your sheikh taught you that he was the same as God. Like, you guys make tawaf around broken down masjids. You guys said that Islamburg and Islamville in the United States of America was more holy than the Kaaba. Like, there's a lot of wrong. Your sheikh married teenage girls and then actually like prostituted them out with halal marriages. You have a female imam. There's a lot wrong. We don't have to go looking for it. It's right there in your face. It's sad
not hidden.
Yeah. Go live your own life.
Mm-hmm.
Start a new Jamaat.
Start a new Jamaat. Okay, so just real quick, right? I don't think that Jaffar's trying to start his own Jamaat. I could be wrong, Jaffer, you can correct me. But a lot of people seem to have this idea that Jaffer is like, he is trying to overthrow the Jamaat and start his own Jamaat. Like that girl who was trying to make you her like 10,000, she was like, you're very knowledgeable and smart and handsome, and you could be your own chick somewhere, and you could start your own Jamaat. I'll support you, but like, just leave us alone.
Oh yeah, all my talibs will have to watch anime every day. Oh gosh, it's just so and it just shows the mindset that like even they can't even think of other people outside of the context of TMOA. So it's like, okay, I have to be in a Jamaat. I have to have a leader and someone tell me everything I'm doing and believe that, you know, all my sins are going to be forgiven for being in a special group. But then when people leave and they leave that fishbowl, they think that, oh, they have to be in another fishbowl. They have to go be in another Jamaat. Like, I don't know how many people, like, they say this thing, oh, yeah, just go find another sheikh. Go find another Jamaat. Go start your own Jamaat. You know what I mean?
No.
And then they also, like, oh, they must not have a life outside of TMOA because I can't see myself having a life outside of TMOA.
Projecting, yes, exactly. They're projecting their insecurities onto you because they feel trapped inside of this fishbowl and they don't want to swim in the vast ocean of Muslims. It's like, oh no, what will I do? Listen, it's gonna be tough, right? And believe me, I'm going through this. You're gonna have to learn how to swim again, all right? Because the stuff you learn in the Jamaat, all of that is wrong. All of it. There might be one thing that like the only thing that's correct in the Jamaat is the Shahada. All right. After that point, it's like, all right, you got to learn all that over again from square one. So wish you best of luck. All right.
Yeah.
Yourself, instead of trying to find people, disaffected Jamaat members, half of them never even was around or participated.
Okay. Wait. That is utter BS because you're literally messaging Jaffer, who knows more about your sheikh than you do, and described to you last episode on his interview that he was personally, like, he was able to talk to Jelani and say, hey, I want to transcribe your lectures. He was approved directly from Jelani to do so. And then like Mubarak was also in the administration, right? And then me, you know, everyone knows who my parents are. So yeah, like I was babysat by Jelani when I was 1 year old. So talking. All right.
But I hope he didn't change your diaper.
I hope not too.
Anyway. Even met Shahzad.
never met them. There you go. Listen, has he met Shashab? Mubarak
Well,
Jelani?
we just found out that he's been kicked out of the Jamaat several times.
So clearly he isn't the best Jamaat member, because if he was the best Jamaat member and believed in all this malarkey in jargon he's spewing, then he would never have been kicked out of Jamaat, because he would be a stand-up ideal TMOA member who follows every rule and always pays his 10% and always goes to retreat and never has his family around him and never goes to college. Mashallah, brother.
Yeah,
all right.
He's basically what they call a redeemer, is that they're on the outskirts and they do whatever they can to still make it seem like they're the downest Jamaatis, right? But even though like they don't follow anything, they don't listen, but then when they come around the Eids and whatever programs, they're like, yeah, Jelani, I'm the best Talib, but then they get kicked out, 2-3 weeks later for not paying their membership dues or whatever. Like and you have people that I can at least respect a Jamaati that actually follows what Mubarak Jelani says.
A diehard, yeah.
You know what I mean? But you have these people like, yeah, I believe in the Sheikh. The Sheikh's the best. But then they're talking to you. They have a blunt in their hand. They have braids in their hair. They have jeans on. Their kids are going to public school, and they're married to Christians. It's like, oh, okay, you go ahead, buddy.
Sir, you definitely listen to his teachings and watch his boring lectures. All right, way to go. I'm sure you sat through all of those if you did. Oh yeah, Allah. And your kids probably watch TV, which is haram according to Jelani. I mean, his kids did all that stuff, but it's not doesn't apply to you darkies, all right? Oop.
You try to convince people. You're laughed at, man. You're a clown. This was nothing but Shas have never brought anything but love to people.
Out of BS. That is out of BS. I can guarantee you that Noor was not having a good time and feeling love when she was in the halala. Guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that all the families that he broke up were having a good time. I can guarantee you all the people he forced to go overseas are having a good time. I can guarantee you when he told Abu Muhammad, Uncle MJ's best friend, to go kill him, was having a good time. Guarantee you. So
was it love that he was trying to bring when he told Hussein Abu Bakr and them and the whole crew to go deliver love bombs to the Hindu temple in Canada? Was that what it was? It was like a love bomb. It was gonna blow up in glitter and rainbows and flowers.
And hearts,
yes. Is that what was gonna happen? No, they're gonna die.
Jihadis though, all right?
And we didn't even know Islam until they got here.
Okay, don't ever say we as a collective. You can say you cannot speak for everyone else, all right? If you didn't know your Islam and then joining the Jamaat you felt you did, I can assure you don't, all right? So you still need to learn your Islam. Because if you knew your Islam in the very basics, you would say, okay, this is wrong, so I can't follow this. This what makes it so funny about like the whole aspects of the Jamaat, right? Is that at the very basic level of just understanding Islam, right? When you first become Muslim, right, you say there is no God but Allah, right? Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is his messenger. So the first thing you say, right, the very first thing you say when you first new Shahada, that's the first thing that they say. And then if someone says, oh no, there's two gods or God has partners, no, that's wrong, because I just read this. This is the first thing I just said when I came Muslim, so that's wrong. So the very basic level, like that foundation is already destroyed. If you believe that Jelani is this great, pious, peaceful, loving, doing all this stuff, because he's not. And everything he says about the Sixth Sultan and how he's just a divine person and reading from the books and stuff like that, if you hear that, you hear him say things like, because this brother's been around for a while, so he definitely heard Jelani say, if you don't fear Allah, fear me. So you heard that and like, okay, well, I mean, that was kind of crazy, but like, I mean, he's the Sheikh, he's the real deal. No, he's not. Does like common sense just leave you because you like the guy?
And the thing is too, like you had an important point. Like I've heard multiple people when they try to like debate or defend TMOA, they'll say stuff like, "Who are you? You just know basic Islam. Sheikh Jelani's a scholar, and this and that." And I'm like, well, you saying I'm just like a basic uneducated Muslim is actually an argument against you. Because if me, with my very limited knowledge, can totally shred your whole belief system without you even giving one rebuttal, that shows that you're on a very, very weak foundation. Because me, a layman, can destroy the scholar Mubarak Jelani's whole belief set, all of his teachings, very easily. A 12-year-old can come and do the same thing. So that's just an argument against you. It shows that your belief system is full of crap.
100%. And that you're just like, you're the person that you believe to be able to do this is, it's like basically Mubarak Jelani lied on his resume and CV. All right. And then when he had to actually do the job, it was like, I mean, I could do it for you, but like, I don't really want to do it at this time. But just if I had to, I could. It's like, okay, man. Yeah. It says here in the second part, moving the moon. You can do this. Please do it again, sir.
We need the time here. Please move the moon, right?
It says here, part 3, animal tricks. You can become a bird. Please do that, sir. Like you start going to the list, like none of that is true. It says here that you are the 6th spark of Allah's light, and the law created you. And I can call you a law. That's false. Like so it's just a sad reality for people to face that yes, this person did lie to you. I understand, like, because when we were in that Who Was Sheikh Jelani room, right, and people they were going over their accounts of like the one time that they met Jelani, or the one time that like he was in the area or he was in the U.S. and they heard about a story about Jelani, right? This is a lot of the folks they were around Jaffar's age, right? They may have met him one time when they were 5. And they're 40 years old now talking about the one time when they were 5 and how good it felt. Like, you guys are weird. You never met him again. You never saw him again. He doesn't know you.
It's like groupies. It's like it's really like groupies. Like when I was in Michigan, I met so many people. I met Jimmy Carter. I met Harry Ford. I met all these different people, right? And you don't hear me be like, man, yeah, I met Jimmy Carter and he was so nice and respectful and just such a great man. It's like, okay, I met the dude, shook his hand, and that was it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but you guys make this incredible like story, and like this had so much meaning and impact on your life. And literally, he doesn't know who you are, and you don't know who he is. It's crazy.
And whenever I think on Thursday, I do want to like briefly cover some of the stories that they had in that Who Was Sheikh Jelani room, because it was like, fam, there's simply just no way you love him this much. It's like, and there he was. I peeked around the corner, and then he's like, "Come sit here, child." It's like, all right, Yoda.
Yeah, and Amr, and you know, like you're into psychology, so you know how like the memory works. You know, 90% of that story is just made up. They just they were probably told by the parent that Mubarak Jelani came over their house one time, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're a little kid." And at first when they heard it, like, "I don't remember." But then over these years, they started just creating this story. Yeah, I looked around the corner and I just seen so much Noor, and he gave me a piece of candy, and it was just so like you made most of that up.
That's 100% true, like Jafar said. And another thing too is that there's some like theories for psychology that kids don't actually form a full, complete like memory until like the age of like 7, right? So before that, it gets filled in with like parts of the story that you may have forgot or that someone told you about. And then also you try to, generally as a kid, you try to make everything rose colored, so it seems like it was a good time. That's why kids generally don't like be depressed that much until later on when they can like remember what happened. So as a kid, right, you're probably 4 or 5 years old in a trailer somewhere that's freaking falling apart, but you're like, oh, I had such a great time. In reality, you didn't, but you didn't know any better.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You understand? But not you. No, you waste your whole life. You'll see. You'll see in the end.
See, and so this is like onto his, like when he was talking to me on the phone, he was really talking Big Willie, throwing threats out there. He's gonna see me. I'm gonna get mines and this and that. And then when I called it, I called his threats empty. I called him out on it, and that's when he sent that thing in the beginning. It was like, just to be clear, I didn't threaten you. I wasn't threatening you. Well, whatever, dude. Like, stand behind your words. If you really believe in it, just stand behind it. But this guy, it's sad. These guys are silly, and he just represents the like stereotypical blind following TMOA member.
That whole idea of like seeing Jafar in person sounds cool until he's like, you guys say he's freaking Karate Kid. He gonna go there and beat your ass. You gonna sit there looking stupid. Like, I'll fight Jafar. You fight Jafar. He's like, oh, this nigga. Like the second you about to fight Jafar and he uses his freaking legs, is over. All right, it's just no way. Like he uses kicks. You have to just leave, bro. You have to just leave. Ain't no way. Like if you're about to fight someone and they start freaking kicking, nah, damn. Listen, I'm sorry, sir. I apologize. I didn't know who you were. You trained.
Listen, for all you TMOA soldiers out there, like, please don't try to come fight me. I'm too old for that. Like, if you do, I'm gonna defend myself appropriately, and Allah knows best what happens. But please don't. I gotta go to work usually the next day. I don't feel like being sore. I don't feel like hurting nobody. Like, come on. So let's go on to. Do you have the actual article that I posted in the room? If not, I could bring it up.
Oh, hold on. It's freaking playing this John Cena video in the background. My ears are bleeding. All right. The article in the R2F room or the other one?
It's in the R2F room.
Okay, I got you. What's today?
What's that?
1 second. Where is it?
So
okay. You can. Okay. Is it the one? No, that's from Hanif. Thanks.
It's like soy. What is it called? It's
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see it. My bad. I got you. Share screen.
Yeah, so this is the article. I'll post the link. We'll post a link in the description once the video uploads, so you guys can go read it yourself. But I just wanted to go through this, and there's so many different things that are out there about Mubarak Jelani that's written by third parties. Like the common understanding is when you're in TMOA is that Mubarak Jelani is this great sheikh in Pakistan that he has all these talibs all over the world. And the only people that possibly speak bad about TMOA or Mubarak Jelani are either angry, butthurt ex-Jamaat members or Islamophobes, right? Like, they claim that Ryan Morrill's an Islamophobe and that all he wants to do is terror. Like, this is what they do. But if they get their mind out of that, there's actually a lot of people, a lot of sources out there that actually have reported the truth about Mubarak Jelani. That, like, for instance, this article is written by Mubashir Bukhari. He's a Pakistani journalist. He's not an Islamophobe. He has nothing to do with anything. He's just a unbiased third party who's actually going to report on Mubarak Jelani. And just a little background, Mubashir is the one that Shafat Jelani tried to threaten. And Mubashir is actually an ex-boxer. And he's like, well, come on, bring it. It never happened. He's like, come on, you want to bring it, bring it. So I'm just going to read some of the article. I might just go through the whole thing just so people can get what's in here, because it gives a better picture of. It's funny because people in TMOA actually don't know Mubarak Jelani's history. All they know is the story that, he came from Pakistan. He was trained by Khalifa Ali in the heavens, and he came to America to guide TMOA. That's all they know about him. But this gets more into like his past and just shed some more light on who this fraud actually was. Yeah. So Mubashir writes in a Pakistani newspaper, Jelani was arrested last week by intelligence agencies on suspicion of being behind the kidnapping of American journalist Daniel Pearl. So this is written all the way back decades ago when the whole Daniel Pearl situation. So he goes into a week-long grueling interrogation of Pir Mubarak Ali Shah Jelani, who was arrested in connection with the kidnapping of Wall Street journal reporter Daniel Pearl. Has failed to give intelligence agencies any breakthroughs, say sources. Insiders say interrogators are ready to believe now that Jelani knows nothing about the reporter and his captors. And then he says, he has been interrogated jointly by Pakistani and American investigators, but nothing has come out of it. An insider told TFT officials familiar with the interrogation say, so most of this is about the Daniel Pearl stuff, but I want to get into where he actually investigates Jelani himself. He gets down into, okay, let's see. So he says, although it is unclear so far whether Jelani had any role in Pearl's abduction, he has certainly become notorious overnight throughout the world. TFT contacted various people, including some of his close relatives. So he contacted Mubarak Jelani's close relatives to get some information on Jelani's background. His alleged links with jihadi groups and the organization Tanzim al-Fuqara run by him. The group has been declared a terrorist organization by the U.S. State Department. So he goes, back in the 1970s, Jelani used to be vice president in the Punjab chapter of former Air Marshal Asghar Khan's Tehreek-e-Istiqlal. At that time, he was a clean-shaven man in his 30s, So clean. He wasn't even practicing the Sunnah. Hey, chopped off his beard, and at that time he was not a religious figure whatsoever. Being the eldest son of Pir Maksud Shah Jilani, an influential spiritual patron of the shrine of Hadrat Mian Mir in Lahore. So Mubarak Jilani's father used to be the caretaker or the sheikh of the Mian Mir shrine, right? And just so you guys know, that means his family's in the shrine business in Pakistan, right? This is where you get all these shrines in America, shrines in Pakistan. They're trying to establish their own shrines.
Big scams.
So, yes, it's a scam.
It's just scams. Like they have this shrine business going on in India, Pakistan, and also they have the like phone call business, right? Where because I was watching a video on this, where like literally the Indian Pakistani, they have this like these giant buildings of just like call centers, and there's like 20 folks in the call center who are just actually on a call for just like decoy purposes. Everyone else is scamming folks in America and Europe, like, hello, sir. And so they're making like, I think it was like on average making like 13 million US a year, which is like $1 billion rupees. So like everything is a scam. Everything's a scam over there. It's insane.
Yeah. So Mubarak was reckoned as the most important political opponents of then Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. This is why the Bhutto regime got 3 cases registered against him for leading anti-government processions under the Defense of Pakistan rule, which is now. So basically, he was trying to battle over there in Pakistani politics. So then he goes, after his release, Mubarak Jilani was arrested. After his release, Jilani left for Saudi Arabia to escape the wrath of Mr. Bhutto's. So all that whole idea about, he was called to Taif to do this thing, he actually was fleeing Pakistan because he didn't want to get arrested. Later, he migrated to the United States of America, where he preached and converted a large number of Americans, which isn't really accurate, especially African Americans, to Islam.
Only African Americans. Only African Americans and Matt Gardner. All right, his former or his later on likes nobody. All right.
Yep. So after that, during his 7-year stay, he was here for 7 years. That's it, 7 years in the U.S. He set up madrasa there. It was also in the U.S. that he set up his Fitrah Jamaat. During this period, he contracted 3 marriages, 1 with Pakistani women and 2 with African Americans, but remained issueless, basically without kids. Family sources told TFT that Jilani's Tanzim has a large network in the U.S., and his followers still send him hundreds of thousands of dollars as endowments. He owns a large ancestral property besides a cinema hall in District Khasus near Lahore. So hundreds of thousands of dollars is this was his.
Yeah.
So like his family members actually don't know the scope of it, but they're like, they know he gets a lot of money from these African Americans in America, right? But he says, but the family is not very sure about his links with any jihadi groups, especially Jaish Muhammad. One of his cousins told TFE that Jilani never held any office in any jihadi or religious group or party, and he said his Tanzim is a group that preaches Sufism.
That man is paid off. Man, that cousin has been paid off well. All right.
So, and he said, however, he did admit seeing Masood Azhar, whoever this guy is, at Mubarak Jilani's house on a couple of occasions. Interestingly, some other relatives told TFT that Mubarak was an aggressive person always. Playing with toy weapons was his favorite hobby as a child. This is why his father, Maksud al-Shah, preferred to keep him away from the ancestral area of Mian Mir village on Lahore's Upper Mall. So his father was like, his father was like, yo, this kid's off it. Kind of stay away from the religious stuff. Get out of here, right? That's very clear what he's saying. So he said his father was fearful of his aggression and thought he would get into brawls and create trouble for him. So later, Jilani's love of weapons took him to the arms business. He set up arms shop in Lahore, and many followers dutifully camped there. When TFT visited Mian Mir village, so they went to Mian Mir shrine where the family is to see some more of his close relatives. None could be found in the locality. They all went underground after the law enforcement agencies started raiding their houses. Most of them avoided answering questions about Jelani's past. Jelani's father, Saeed Maqsood Ali Shah Jelani, died only last month while in his 80s. He is buried at the graveyard situated in the premises of the shrine of Hazrat Mir. So just for y'all Jamatis, if you're paying attention, his father was the sheikh of the shrine, okay? And when you're a big guy in your own family, which is their family's in charge of that shrine, he was buried inside of that area. Where was Mubarak Jelani buried? Somewhere down in the country. Like he ain't getting buried here. Go bury him somewhere else. And he started his own shrine, right? So pay attention to these things. Let's see. He had visited his grave. The caretaker of the graveyard said that no one from the family had come to visit the grave since Jelani's arrest a week ago. And he said, I fear they will not even observe his chahlam, probably some Pakistani biddah stuff. I don't even know what that is, which is to be held on February 10th. Another cousin of Mubarak told TFT that Mubarak is not at all a religious hardliner. He says he's not religious at all.
Isn't like wait. Isn't that what like Mudassar told Sultan or Shafat Sultan? One of them told each other like nigga, you don't even practice, cuz all right. We're trying to pretend like you.
Hold on one second.
You know, yeah, no, but like just like hearing all this stuff, and this isn't like from some like random person. Like this dude's actually in Pakistan, right? So he's close to the source.
His own family members, and look, check out the quote. He says he has been doing certain things, but he has been in this only for money. He said. He said, however, he refused to give details of what Jelani has been doing. He would, because, you know, and you think about it, right? These are anonymous sources. They're family members. They're willing to say enough of the truth, but they still don't want to throw their family under the bus because he's like, yeah, I'm not going to tell you everything. But yeah, this brother's just in it for the money, right? So, and he said he also would not answer the question of why Jelani, a Brevely, so he's a Brevely, right, would be linked with Deobandi and Wahhabi jihadi groups. Other sources. Yeah.
Literally just had a whole thing about him having like the arms deal. His father was like, yo, like this nigga a little terrorist. I can keep him away from stuff because he like to shoot things up. So like I can't understand why. Like I never would have expected that Jelani would be the one. It's like he gave you all the signs.
Yeah, exactly.
What the heck are you talking about?
So other sources too confirmed he was raking in money. He's raking in money. He was prepared to play ball with some intelligence agencies. So he was prepared to be an agent, an informant, an asset for CIA, ISI, or whatever, whoever else would pay him, right, to do that. And also had links with the Taliban, not because he believed in the creed, but because it served his purpose of making money. A source told TFT, so U.S. officials believe the Briton Richard Reed, commonly known as the shoe bomber, had links with Jelani. Okay, so that's the article. I just wanted to get it out there just so, but this is stuff, there's so much stuff out there if you're willing to look at it that gives the real truth of who Mubarak Jelani was. He was a person that was not religious, a person obsessed with guns and violence, a person that his own father said, get out of here. And everything that he's done that his own family members are willing to say, because like it has to be pretty bad for your own family members to basically throw you under the bus, right? Because even like I got family members that, you know, they're you know, you might not like them or they might be doing bad things, but at the same time, if some random reporter comes to start asking questions about them, I'm not just going to be dropping all the tea on them, right? But he's that bad that they're like, yeah, this dude he's not religious, he's just in it for the money, very clearly.
Or so, and this is another way to think about it. What if like his family was like trying to like sugarcoat it, and that was the best they could do? It's like yo, he's not even that bad, but like we were kind of like being easy on him. Like he has way more worse stuff than this. Like that's pretty light. We gave up on you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys look online. The stuff's there. If you really want it, if you can contact us if you want some more stuff. And we'll send it to you. But I just that came up in our chat, so I just wanted to talk about it. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is, and we're going to try to do some more of this, is if you could bring up the comment that the sister made on YouTube, if you have that, Jenna Gunter. So we're going to try to do more of this, where we cover or put out there some of the great comments or great ideas or great statements that are made, whether it be on the YouTube or on our Facebook or any of our social media. We started doing some of that with our R2F chats, with just some of the stuff that we talk about on a daily basis, to try to share that with the people. But other people's voices need to be heard, and hopefully we can do some more of this. But like this sister, alhamdulillah, she made a very powerful statement, and I just wanted to cover it for the people so that, you know, they could see how this, like, it really hits home for a lot of people that are, you know, have woken up from the falsehood of TMOA. So Jenna Gunter, assalamu alaikum, if you're watching, alhamdulillah for the statement. Keep them coming, because you're saying a lot of good stuff. So she says, I don't think R2F has been around for the length of anyone's lifetime. However, what TMOA members must understand is that when a person leaves the Jamaat, they spend years living their life. Like, very clearly saying, like, people have lives, and they live their lives outside of TMOA. As the years go on and you're enjoying your new communities, again, you got to connect with the Ummah, you got to connect with the Jamaat of Muslims, the Jamaat of Rasulullah, and living a normal life while loving the deen from a clear perspective, you learn the deen more. And this is so important, because everybody has this same experience. As soon as you leave TMOA, you start interacting with other Muslims, and you start learning the deen, and you actually get a genuine love for Allah and Rasulullah and Islam, and for Muslims in general, right? And this is why, like, this love actually turns people to look back at their past at TMOA and be like, you know what? I got to say something, because not only is it wrong what the people that I love and care about are going through by being a part of that cult, but I want them to have what I have now, right? Like, it's so, the grass is so much greener on the other side. And then she says, as your knowledge of basic Islam increases, you realize that you can't sit and enjoy your life while thousands are still being fooled. And that's right on the money. That's exactly what it is. It's like having a fridge full of food while you know your neighbors have not eaten. You have to say something. I love being a TMOA member. And that right there, that line right there just hits home, because everybody, for the most part, they love being in TMOA. Why? Because of their family, their friends, their social interactions, right? People generally did care for each other. But the problem is that the whole system's messed up, and the whole belief system is shirk, and you're being oppressed and transgressed upon by your leaders. But that line right there is talking about the people, right? And she says, I had no experience that was so bad that I would leave. Again, nothing happened to her. Nothing bad happened to her. None of the politics could make me leave. When I learned Arabic and learned my religion and tried to bring TMOA practices to other Muslims, I was compelled to leave. And that's another aspect that usually happens, is when, you know, you start, if you actually do believe in this TMOA stuff, and if you do believe in it, you sincerely believe in it, just like she said in the beginning of her message, you want other people to believe the stuff too. So when you go to other Muslims and talk to them about the 7 sultans and all these different things, and you have no evidence for it from the Quran and the Sunnah, you look stupid, and you feel stupid, and you realize, like, oh, this isn't right. So you go to the true religion of Islam. And she said they have to bring at least some proof or accept what TMOA really is, a cult. I mean, powerful statement. Alhamdulillah. May Allah bless her.
She hits on like a
so
really
I think important. That's all.
Okay, we're good. Because we can just end it and I can just leave.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So all I'm gonna say is shukran for leaving that great message. I think it's really important that folks actually take time to read that through and just process it. And you know, it reminded me of like when I was in Hafiz school, and the Hafiz had other kids who weren't part of the Jamaat come, right? And I was listening to the kids from the Jamaat try to explain these like ideas of Jelani and the things that he could do to the regular Muslim kids, and they're like, "You guys are crazy," and I'm like, "I ain't with the niggas, all right." So like it it seems crazy when it's said out loud, but like if you're just a part of it, it's not crazy to you because this is all you know. But when you're around other people, right? When you get a part of the larger body of Muslims, right? And you start saying these things, and they're looking at you crazy. They can't all be wrong, right? Because there's a hadith where Prophet Muhammad says, like, my ummah would never unite upon falsehood, right? So like that like scholars have said that to be like, go with the majority, all right? Go with the majority of Muslims, and will never be wrong, all right? Not gonna unite upon falsehood. So like, this is something that she highlighted very well, is that, like, you know, as she learned her Arabic and learned her Islam, and tried to take her TMO teachings outside of the Jamaat, it was like she seemed crazy to these people. They're like, what are you talking about? This doesn't fit anywhere. So that encouraged her, okay, well, let me actually go learn this stuff. And it's a beautiful thing to have happen to you. And I wish it for everyone. Like, if you can just like go actually learn your religion and take time to go study it, like the things you thought you knew before, you're happy that they're wrong, because the truth is so much better.
Yep. So we have some questions in the YouTube chat. One of them is, are there any passages in the Holy Quran that speaks on wearing jeans or jeans being forbidden? No, absolutely not. There's nothing like that in the Holy Quran nor in the Hadith. And if just use a little common sense, during the time of, we're talking about desert Arabs, right? They weren't wearing jeans. There was probably no material like that in their culture at all. So yeah, nothing like that.
And also, they weren't wearing the Pakistani shalwar kameez. All right, I don't know who needs to understand this, but like this was a big thing in the Jamaat, of like the Sunnah clothes was the shalwar kameez, and like and some Sunnah pants is what they called it. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe we don't know, but there was very few Sahabas who actually like were Pakistani. And I guarantee you the Prophet Muhammad was not Pakistani. I can guarantee you that he was not born in Pakistan. He wasn't born in India. All right. So he was an Arab. The Arabs, they wore thobes and things of that nature. They did not wear small kameez. I can guarantee you that. So
and the actual shawal, that the closest thing that the people during the time where Islam would wear that was like that would be considered their like underclothes or pajamas.
Yeah,
they wouldn't actually wear that outside like that.
And the whole thing of like not wearing jeans that he prescribed to his community, right? And when my mother was overseas, right, and they're like, okay, people in the Jamaat, you guys cannot wear jeans, right? Guess whose kids were wearing jeans? Guess you can guarantee you that your Shafat and Sultan and all the niggas could guess the clothes they had on: jeans, jean jackets. All right, so this is just,
they would ask for it to be sent over, like on those trips. They would request stuff like that.
So this is just like just cult stuff, and that just means that you're in a cult. All right, that's basically what that means. You're in a cult. You couldn't wear jeans. All right, jeans are comfortable, they're cool. You couldn't wear jeans because you're in a cult. It's very simple.
Mike Russell said, did he say they have Qadris in the Jamaat? Who exactly? Since TMOA, MOA, Jamaat al-Fukr made up its own deen that doesn't resemble the Qadri whatsoever. Yep, that's exactly correct. So they just tried to hijack the Qadri Sufi order and just put that name on themselves without actually being affiliated to actually the group at all. Did the person identify himself? Yes, that was Idris Nasir in the recording that we played. Idris Nasir. Let's see. Nothing but love and hatred towards Hindus. And yep, he tried to kill all the Hindus, Ahmadiyas, and Jews. That was Jelani's. All I came to bring is love. Let's see. Uncle said that the audio isn't clear. Yeah, we have a little technical issue, but we're going to upload a better video later. Has Barry Adams went public with a statement? Barry Adams is, the last I heard is he got arrested or he got stabbed or something in Venezuela. Barry Adams is a nobody, and he's not going to make any public statement whatsoever, just like his son's not going to make any public statement whatsoever. And if he does, it's probably going to be some bull crap similar to what his son says, like, the whole world's going to, commit suicide if they don't join the Jamaat or some dumb crap like that. Let's see. People are thinking about leaving TMOA, alhamdulillah. Let's see.
Just Americans, not African Americans. Yes, we were born here.
So they're just conversating at a certain point, I think.
Alhamdulillah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. No more questions?
Don't think so. Just for anyone who's unaware, we will be live on Thursday for the R2F show. R2F show will be on Thursdays for probably like a month or two going forward. But Jaffer and I may still do pop-up shows here and there if something arises. But the schedule is 9:30 pop-up. The R2F show is 9:30 on Thursdays. So, you have a question, and please ask it before we dip off into the day or the night and go do our lives we have.
Go back to my non-life.
Yep.
Just go and think about TMOA all night.
I have to work tomorrow, but I mean, I don't have a job, so I mean, this is my job actually. We actually have an R2F interview on Thursday, so in 2 days we're interviewing someone. So there you go. And if you missed it, we interviewed Jaffer, which I don't know if that counts or not because he's just a host. So it's like interviewing Mubarak or me. So, but yeah, we interviewed Jaffer. He has his first part of his story on last Thursday, and we're gonna interview someone else this Thursday. So in 2 days, inshallah, we have an interview lined up. And the people, listen, if you want to get interviewed, we say this all the time. The R2F show is an open invite. All right, so you can be in the Jamaat, out the Jamaat, on the fence. We don't care. If you want to come share your story and not just like troll us, then please come share your story, and it'll be beneficial for us and for you, inshallah.
And depending on who you are and what your situation is, we could figure out a way to possibly keep you anonymous on the interview. I'm pretty sure there's some ways where we can keep you blocked out and do some voice changing stuff. Depends who you are. It depends on what the situation is. Like if you have a valid reason for staying anonymous, like you still live on the land or something like that. But yeah, I
don't know. Like if you're administration, like you're one of the like top dudes in Islamabad, I might just say your name. Just sorry. Hey, yeah.
Take the filter off their face. Like,
whoops.
When we do another interview, it depends because the only reason why, just so everybody knows, the only reason why we're doing my interview, we're gonna interview Brother Hanif J. Williams again. We're gonna also interview Mubarak. The only reason we're doing that is because we lost our content on the old channel, and we just want to make sure that content's available for anybody that needs to go back and hear different things. So interviews with people that we haven't talked to yet take priority over my interview because most people know my story. But when time comes, when an opportunity comes up, we'll do the part 2, and if needed, we'll do like a part 3. There's a lot of different stuff within my story because I want to cover up until like today the stuff that we deal with today, like even like running into Muslims that go out of running into people from TMOA that go out of their way when they're by themselves to like give me salams and shake my hand and whatever. But then when they see me in public, when it was another TMOA member, like I'm the side chick and they like try to ignore me.
There's that devil dog Jaffer. Jaffer, I love you.
It's like, what?
You're a good brother.
Yeah. So inshallah, throughout the summer, inshallah, we'll be getting all those interviews in. But Cake Pie, when you're gonna come on the show?
I'm about to say, don't fake on us, Dan. All right, listen, I promise you, nothing's happening here if you come on the show. All right, I said this before. I've done the interview. Jaffer's done an interview. Who's done the interview? Like these people live we live near the Jamaat, right? These niggas aren't gonna do it from you, all right? Because they already said before, like, oh, if you're part of the Jamaat, you don't even have to believe in like in the Seventh Sultan anymore. Just be a part of the community. So all they care about at the end of the day, at this point, is just your money. All right. So you come. If they kick you off the Jamaat, that's good for you because guess what? You're free. Mashallah. Yep. It's a blessing.
Well, I guess we should remind the people of this too, is that if you are in a situation where you're kind of stuck, maybe financially or physically, like maybe like you're stuck on the land and you can't leave because you have nowhere to go, we do have resources available to people that qualify and actually do need it to help them actually leave TMOA and leave the cult. So if you're one of these people that need real assistance. We're working on applications, and there'll be verifications. We're not just going to be handing out assistance, but there are some resources there for you. So people should know that, and it doesn't come with any strings attached. All it comes with is that you have to. One of the main conditions is that you have to actually deny the teachings of Mubarak Jelani and the Seven Sultan and that sort of thing. So just keep that in mind, right, depending on what your situation is.
Yeah, and one more thing, I think we had to cover this maybe last week, but we forgot about it. Was like someone was making the idea of like R2F is like begging for members or something like that. That's not a truthful statement at all. It would always be nice to have more hands aboard. But in reality, like this whole like show and things, right? We pretty much have it down to a science, right? And generally, like more hands in a kitchen is a bad thing, all right? So at this point, like not saying we couldn't, like we wouldn't love to have more people here, but like we can cook the meals ourselves, all right? So we're not like in the need for someone to come join and help us out. We have a good core group, and everyone does their part. And we get things done. So it's not like we're just begging for members to come. That's just not a narrative that people should put out there, because it's simply just not true. We get the job done.
Yeah, we want you to join the Ummah. Go to your local masjid, join them.
Most important thing, we're not starting our own Jamaat. There was a question asked about maybe a year ago. It's like if all things just went back to normal. And they left the shirt, would you go back to the land? No, I probably never go there. This is like, okay. So yeah, no, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm good. So, that's the last thing I want to say. I don't have anything else to add.
All right, I think that's it. Amr, you want to close us out?
All right. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar, wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil. Subhanallah. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.